Bryan Kennedy from BioBuzz Networks. We're filming live here at CIC Philadelphia's Vendor Showcase here in the heart of UCity Square. Today, over 30 vendors will interact and explain how their services and technologies help companies innovate and grow. Today, I'm joined by Matt. Matt, could you do an introduction?
Absolutely. My name is Matt Georgov from Choice MedWaste. We're a local regulated waste disposal company. We are family owned and operated based out of Delaware, but we're permitted to service clients in Delaware, Philadelphia, and Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Maryland. We help clients safely, reliably, and sustainably dispose of any regulated waste, which could be biohazard waste, infectious substances, hazardous chemicals, paper shredding. We're really, we try to be a one-stop shop and, more importantly, a resource for all of our lab clients, because we know everyone generates various different waste streams, and sometimes it can be really hard to figure out what needs to go in what container and how you need to dispose of each of them.
So how do you help companies like young biotech, mid biotech, large biotechs? How do you help them navigate different strategies for that?
Yeah, one of the cool things that we do is we don't require any minimum fees. So a lot of the smaller labs that are just getting going, as I'm sure everyone's aware of, that they're either using grant money or they don't necessarily have the funding to go for forever that some of the bigger organizations have. So we just charge our clients by the container that we pick up. We have clients that range from on-call services that we pick up one container of medical waste a year. We've got other groups that are much bigger, much more in depth with their research, and we're picking up multiple times a week. So the benefit of that is our small clients are only being charged when they generate it, so their money can last a little longer. On the flip side, we have larger clients that if they're generating more because they added a study, we don't charge them extra fees for it. It's the same price. On the opposite side, if they start generating less, they also save money. So we fluctuate with their invoices. We're not one of the companies that try and do a flat monthly fee. We want to make sure you're only being billed for the waste you're actually generating.
So for here in Philadelphia, do you work with a lot of clients, or is it mostly Delaware based? How does that work out?
Yeah, I'd say we're probably split 50-50 between Delaware and the Philadelphia market. We do a ton with all the incubators in Philadelphia, as well as labs outside of Philadelphia. The biggest benefit is we always like to say we're one phone call away. Every client has my cell phone, a direct line, and you don't really see that anymore in this industry. And if it's a question about an invoice, a question about a waste stream that you're not sure if it goes in our container or it has to go out as hazardous waste, it's a simple phone call, it's a text, it's an email, and you're going to get a response within 24 hours. And on the other side, if you need additional services, we like to create that partnership, and that's kind of why we're here today. We network with other local vendors in the area. So we have labs call us all the time saying, hey, I've got this problem to solve. Do you know of anyone? Because we network with all the service providers in this area, and sometimes the labs don't know who to go to. So I can direct them to 2 or 3 people and say, hey, call this person on their cell phone. They'll be able to solve that for you. So let us do the research for you. Let us develop that partnership with you. We don't want them wasting their time trying to research vendors. We'd like to just introduce them to good people, quality people in the area already.
So you talked about family-owned business. Can you sort of tell us the history of the company and how you guys sort of came to serve all of these lab spaces?
Yep. So we have, my family's got over 40 years of waste logistics experience. We were first in the waste industry with my father. He ran a solid waste and recycling company in Delaware, grew that to be the largest local company in Delaware. He sold that in 2010. And we actually had some friends who were in the waste industry that they had a small medical waste division of their solid waste company. Well, when my dad sold his company, they became the next local company. So they grew rapidly. They ended up selling off their medical waste division, but always told us there's a huge need for it. The unique part about medical waste is it takes a long time to grow the client base. Not everyone generates medical waste. So it's not like with trash, you can go say every single building, every single even home user generates trash. So it takes a long time to grow, but there's a really, really big need for that local response. There's a lot of questions on what's a regulated waste, what's not. There's a lot of need for flexibility with our pickups. And when we started doing research, whether it was with local doctors' offices, local lab organizations, it was the same thing of, we don't feel like we have options. A lot of people, when they meet with you, they're like, I didn't even know you were here. I didn't even know you were available. And we try to do as much marketing as possible, but we're just not as big as some of the nationwide companies. Once they find out we do things a little differently than most of our competitors, we use safe technology to dispose of anything. We use sustainable, reusable containers. It's a really no-brainer. The hardest part is usually getting out of the current agreement that they're in with one of the larger companies. But our goal is service. We tell them that we don't need to lock you into a long-term contract. They're usually all flexible, and it's our burden to earn their business every month. We don't feel like we got to promise you one thing and then know you're locked in for 5 years, and then you may never hear from us again. We're trying to take that opposite approach.
All right, last question is how do you tap into the CIC and the whole UCity Square? How do you, really get into this market right here?
Yeah, a lot of it's sponsorships. So we're a part of Life Sciences PA, we're a part of Lab Ops United. We're a part of all these organizations that service these companies who are in the life science group, but also it's a lot of referral based. I mean, we started with one incubator, and to be totally honest, this wasn't our core market. We were primarily in healthcare, whether that's nursing homes, surgery centers, dental office, primary cares. We had one incubator, and that incubator referred us to another one, and another one, and another one. And that's that organic growth that we like to say good service helps with, rather than having a huge marketing campaign, a huge Google Ads group. So it's really just we network, we work with people, we're reliable, we execute what we promise,
Provide a good service.
and provide good service, and then they come kind of knocking on the door asking how we can help them.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you being here today. Thank you to CIC and UC Square for sponsoring this event, and thank you to Persephone Bio Partners for sponsoring these interviews. I'm Bryan Kennedy from BioBuzz, and thank you for hanging out.